Hello everybody, it's me, Dansmonsters, here again with another Monster Bomb Club drawing Postcard Monsters video. The thing you always wanted, probably not. Hope you're all doing okay out there. So I've got a bit of a croaky voice going here, so you'll have to forgive me. I might have to keep stopping and having a drink. I've got some Vimto here. If any of you have never heard of Vimto, well, I recommend looking it up. It's absolutely fantastic. Probably the best cordial ever, I think. Better than Ribena. Don't like Ribena, but anyway. So, what have I got here now? It's actually been that long. I can't quite remember what I did with this, but I think, yeah, the pencil is a Postcard black pen. So, obviously, it's a really waxy type of pencil. It's more like a sort of pencil crayon, but a bit more user friendly. I don't even know what that means, but so that's what I penciled this with. I got it from the guys at the Ink Pulp podcast. If you've ever seen that, I recommend it. It's got some real good tips and techniques. Anyway, I saw this Posca pen on his desk, so I rooted some of them out. Got them off Bezos land, unfortunately. And then I used a grey marker, as you can see, for the undertones, not the band. My perfect cousin. Now, I didn't use Copic markers because I'm really cheap and I'm just not prepared to spend those prices yet. Or maybe ever, I don't know. So I got some Arteza ones from eBay and they do a brilliant job, an excellent job. So I use those as the base for them. And then these other ones I got from the colour ones, alcohol markers. Now they've only got like a pointy end and a larger end, rather than like a brush end and a sort of chisel tip. But I got these from a place called The Range here in the UK. Cheap as. It's like 30 alcohol markers for £20. Perfect. And I think they work pretty well. I am no expert with alcohol markers. There are people who are much better than me. Much better. I have not got a clue what I'm doing with them. The reason I started using them is they're quick. Watercolour takes ages to dry without having to get the hairdryer out and everybody thinking you've just opened up a barber's. And it just takes up so much time. So I thought I will try and give these a bit of a go. Try and add some, I don't use them the correct way, whatever the correct way is, I suppose. I mean, it's however you want to do it. But so yeah, I've hit a few stumbling blocks, but I think it's come out okay in the long run. So yes, so I use these alcohol markers, nice and cheap, and just experimenting, and that's what it's about, isn't it? You've got to experiment. I mean, we're making monsters; they're not real, for crying out loud. Just experiment, doesn't matter, and I recommend. That's what everybody does, make some shapes. I am going to do a video on how I make these things and what I recommend people should do, just as a, I don't know, just to be something interesting, I think. Well, I think so. I don't know if I could talk for that long, but we'll have to see. And I certainly can't draw and talk. That's why I'm having to add this audio on afterwards. Oh, there's the faithful Pentel brush pen. I mean, what would we do without that? I mean, I love this pen. I really do. Excuse me. I think it's fantastic. Echo. That's me drinking. And I have not got to the stage yet. I mean, I love a black line. I had a tutor once tell me, when I was at college, tell me to stop putting a black line around all of my pictures because it looked too much like a comic. And I was like, well, and what's wrong with that? But these were the days when people thought comics were just for kids. They are for kids, really, but maybe we've ruined the comics industry the older we get. That's a whole other argument. Yeah, I love this Pentel pen. I think it's great. I didn't actually really know what I was doing with this. I took the sketch from my sketchbook, obviously. Didn't know what colourway I was going to go for. Didn't know how I was going to ink it originally. I didn't really have a plan. And I just thought, right, well, let's just do it. Let's get it on video. Let's have a look at it. And I wasn't convinced I was actually going to put this one out. But especially considering the fact that I flipping well videoed it down so low for some utterly bizarre. Oh, look, I've moved it now. Yeah, I must have heard myself talking. It was. I just went for it, experimenting with it and experimenting with the pens because, like I said, I've not really used them before, the markers. So I'm like I said, I think it came out okay. Could have done it better. Could have maybe thrown it out a bit more, but I think all in all it came out okay. So I'm hoping to try a few more of these. Like I say, I enjoyed it, and I have loads of sketches ready to go, as well as them, and of course my sketch cards that I keep doing. They're a great way to practice the sketch cards, shapes and stuff. So, oh, hello, where have I gone? Oh, I've left. I must have gone to have a cup of tea or something. That seems an inordinate amount of time to do something there, doesn't it? That's a bit of a strange one. Oh well, there you are. Don't quite know what's happening there. Where have I gone? I'm sure I'll come back in a minute. Right, well, I've gone off to make a brew or something. Check out libraryofdoom.medium.com for all my pulp novel collection reviews as I'm going through them all. Horror, action, sci-fi, you name it, it's all on there. Check it out, libraryofdoom.medium.com. Have a look, guys. Bye! Oh, I'm back! I don't know where I went then. Probably to make a cup of tea, I would have thought. Or answer the postman. I've been getting quite a few packages as I've got some music that's been coming through from the Library of Occult, and been buying quite a few old horror movies that I can't seem to find that are streaming anywhere. So I've got on a bit of a run recently, and some of the streaming services are awful for monster movies. You can find like crappy, Oh, in fact, yeah, I watched one that was called Carved, that was on the Disney Channel on Halloween. Started off, first 10 minutes were great, but boy, oh boy, after that, what a pile of cack. Whew, I was amazed how bad it was. Do not watch that. Disney Channel, don't bother. I'm trying to think what we watched beforehand, but... Oh, we watched Ghost Watch, that was it. Wow, that's a thing. Whew. Ghost Watch, amazing. I can highly recommend Ghost Watch. It was a thing that was on the BBC. No, ITV, many years ago on British TV, and it's got a terrible notoriety. Look it up. I'll put, obviously, there's a picture that'll go up on here when I'm talking about it. But, really, really worthwhile. So we watched that, and then we watched this Carved, and it was awful. So I don't even know if I went to bed. Anyway, like I said, it's not what you think is going to be a good monster movie. It isn't always necessarily got a good monster in it. Or if it's got a monster in it at all. But I'm trying to go through a lot of the movies that I've got and get some monsters watched. Oh, that's the is that the Pentel? Kuretake, that's the Kuretake pen. With the ink that I really, really like. I was going to use a black marker originally, or a Posca marker, but I like to use the brush on this pen. It's absolutely goosed, but it's a great pen. And again, I'm adding some more grey tones here. I am just literally going off the bat here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just experimenting away, and that's the best way to do it. I must do that video. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to have another drink. Oh, pencil crayon. Look, that's a watercolor pencil crayon, so you can add it and then add a wash over the top of it. And there's something about doing this on top of those markers that I really like. I've tried a few experiments before, a bit rougher, but yeah, I've got a ton of these. I was given them as a gift, and they work really well. I can recommend them. Oh. Wow, I don't know if I can keep this going. I was listening to a podcast while I was doing this called Mike Pecci, a director called Mike Pecci. If you check him out on Instagram, and his podcast is called In Love with the Process. He does like 2 or 3 other ones as well, and he spoke to a chap called Dane Hallett who makes monsters. for like Alien, and he worked on. He's an Australian guy. Really good, really good. I can highly recommend listening to that. Give you an idea about how good monster movies can be. Now I just used a little bit of gel for the little eyes there. Is it work? I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. What was I pointing at? That was quite funny. Got the old watercolours out now, even though I said I wasn't going to use them. But just to get background texturing, I decided, obviously, I don't remember why, excuse me, to start adding the watercolour in. I think I possibly wanted to try and get a bit more variation with the sort of quite neon-y flat colour of the marker pen. But as you know, I do like texture. I like texture a lot. I like to have different kinds of textures on top of stuff and different mark making. I think it's really important. And this card that I'm painting, this isn't the best of card to take watercolour, to be honest with you, because it takes the markers much better. So I would normally use some thicker card, but I've obviously just decided on a whim to start using the watercolour, which is fair enough. Why not, eh? And I think it's worked out quite well. So I hadn't stretched this, so I had to be careful. Oh look, there I am splattering. What a surprise, eh? Let's get splattering on everything. That's just like my daily thing, isn't it? I don't know. Look at that brush. That brush is ancient. I have had that brush for years. Oh, this is the thumbtack. The thumb. It's for sewing. Now I found this from Jesse Lonergan. I think I've repeated this several times over, but it's a brilliant idea. I love it. And I started using it quite a lot. Probably overdoing it. Oh, more splatter again. See, it's all about experiment. You just got to keep doing it. Oh, the heat's on. Yeah, no, really happy with that. Oh, looks like I'm pretty much coming to the end of this one now. Getting a few more splatters in, adding a few more darker tones. Anyway, look, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you don't. Let me know in the comments. Email for me. It'd be really interesting if you think I should continue with these. I'm trying to make quite a few up front. I'm going to do one about how to make monsters myself, and I guide you through a process that I use and show you all the different pens, and maybe try and make it a bit slower, highlighting stuff up here now, as you can tell. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do making it. Keep making monsters. That's the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. So yeah. Oh, check out the Ko-Fi if you want to send me a cup of coffee. That'd be fantastic. Check out my Instagram. Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye. Oh my grief. I need a brew. Kettle on.